Welcome to MLSsoccer.com's Brazil Bound, presented by Castrol GTX High Mileage. I'm your host, Jason Saghini, and joining me today is Diego Pinzon from Futbol MLS. We are taking a look at the internationals plying their trade in MLS that have high hopes to make an impact at the World Cup next month.
Jay, there are 15 players currently in MLS that have been called into camp or to preliminary rosters for each one of the 32 nations that are participating in the World Cup in Brazil. And we also have one MLS-owned player who's currently out on loan in another league. That's Carlos Valdez down in Colombia. He will join their camp in Argentina prior to the World Cup in Brazil.
All right, this might be an easy question, but tell me, which MLSer do you think is going to have the biggest impact at the World Cup?
That's a very easy answer. That's going to be Julio Cesar. He's a favorite of Filipao. He's probably going to be the goalkeeper, the starter goalkeeper for Brazil. And of course, you know, he's the starter for the host nation who happens to be the favorite to win it all. That's a very easy answer.
It could be the first time that a current MLSer hoists the World Cup trophy. The next biggest name at the World Cup from MLS is probably Tim Cahill. But as much as he's the heart of this Socceroo team, it's hard seeing Australia getting through their group, considering they have the Netherlands, Spain, and Chile as their opponents, all solid opponents. Even their head coach has come out and said they're building towards 2018. So looking at the remaining groups, make a case, Diego, for who will have the biggest impact.
It has to be Honduras Boniek Garcia for Honduras. To me, they are the dark horse in Group E and expected them to go through over France, Switzerland, and Ecuador is a huge bet since they have never won a World Cup match in 2 appearances. But on their favor, they have little pressure to advance, and you can make at least a small argument that all of their opponents have a possible chink in their armor. But for Honduras to succeed, they will need Boniek to thrive on that right side of the field and be the leader we have come to know for Houston Dynamo, and of course, become the occasional playmaker as we witnessed during the qualifying process in CONCACAF. Boniek is a player that's able to hold the ball and wait for the right time to send it forward, and he has also the ability to shoot from distance, which is a quality that many, especially the European teams, might not expect from the lanky Catracho.
So tell me, Diego, what has to go right for Honduras and potentially wrong for their opponents in order for them to get out of the group?
The Hondurans need to be on top of their game, especially their key guys, Victor Bernardes, Emilio Izaguirre, Roger Espinosa, and Boniek. They need to be able to be 90 minutes fit over the group stage. And watch out for Jerry Bengtson, who in Honduras form, as opposed to Revolution form, would be a big help for the Catrachos. After the first game against France, they will face off against Ecuador, a team they know very well, especially because Luis Fernando Suarez, the current Honduras head coach, led Ecuador back in 2006 to the Germany World Cup. And of course, Ecuador's Reinaldo Rueda led Honduras to South Africa 4 years ago in 2010. But the biggest X factor might be the weather, especially against Switzerland in Manaus on June 25th. They're very used to this heat and humidity that could be the great equalizer. And if they can stay alive through the first 2 games with at least 1 point, this could be their opportunity to knock out the Swiss and advance to the round of 16.
All right, it would be their first ever win. I think that's something that a lot of MLS fans will be pulling for come June. Let us know what you think. Can you see a way that Honduras makes it through the group stage? Which MLSers do you think will have the biggest impact at the World Cup? Let us know in the comment section below, or you can tweet at us using the hashtag BrazilBound.
And I'll tell you what, Jay, it will certainly be interesting to see what Iran is able to do at the tournament. I'm sure some Vancouver fans and some San Jose Earthquakes fans as well will be keeping a close eye on Steven Beirazir to see if he's in the field for them in Brazil.
I think that's something I'm going to have a close eye on for sure. They're a bit of a mystery team right now, Iran is, but they qualified well, and they have former MetroStars head coach Carlos Queiroz leading the way. He's one of the most successful managers at this World Cup. Speaking of winners, Diego, next week we start our Castrol giveaways. If we use your comments on our show, we'll send you one of the many World Cup giveaway items that we have. Thanks for watching Brazil Bound, presented by Castrol GTX High Mileage, and check back throughout the week on MLSsoccer.com for all your World Cup coverage.